Have you ever been watching a really good anime with your friend and said, "Yeah, there's only 3 things that could make this show even better. First, I'd like the main character to do more laundry. Second, I'd like the main character's grades to be my personal responsibility.
Oh my god, he just threw the chalk right at my f***ing head.
And third, right at the peak of every story arc, I'd like the main characters to play Pokemon versions Bondage and Submission for 10 episodes straight before I can find out what happens next."
For real?
Ooh-woo. Well, if that's you, then you're gonna love having a wildly inappropriate relationship with your teacher in Persona 5.
Who wants a body massage?
What the hell?
Body massage.
So, while my boyfriend never had any doubt that Persona 5 would be the best JRPG he'd ever play, besides Chrono Trigger, I had lots of doubts about trying to read a 100-hour-long book on the TV in between 1,000 rounds of rock, paper, lightning bolt. Because in general, turn-based combat and page-turning dialogue are simply not as accommodating to backseat gamers as the relatively bite-sized action-adventure movie games that have made this hobby so fun to watch someone else do. That's why Persona 5 is easily our most requested game if you're counting by number of requests I've been ignoring. Listen, I was worried about reviewing a universally acclaimed title in a genre that is difficult for me to appreciate. But after watching the trailer, my boyfriend was like,
"The only thing I am worried about is getting a boner."
So this isn't a review of Persona 5. This is a review of what it's like to live with someone who plays Persona 5. Only those who have agreed to the above have the privilege of partaking in this nonsense.
You guys are gonna pay me for this, right?
"Wake up, get up, get up there. Raise your voice, I guess like it." Big fat thanks to Skillshare for sponsoring this episode. Okay, I admit that almost immediately I realized this game's intro was hitting different.
Oh my gosh, she's a rhythmic gymnastics! Are you kidding me?
And for a moment I thought,
Perhaps I treated you too harshly.
then the intro turned out to be a 15-hour tutorial. The villain turned out to be less important than Raditz, and all those pop quizzes in school turned out to be questions on the midterm, but we don't remember the answers because up until right now they were letting us cheat off other players. Psst, IGN, what'd you put down for number 2, you f***ing dork?
You must be truly desperate to come to me for help.
Yep, Persona 5 really makes you feel like an underachieving high schooler again. However, despite that tutorial section being longer than entire other games, it also tells a better story than entire other games with a level of polish that lets you bend Sword and Shield fans over your knee and say,
Well, you like that? You like that? Sorry.
This game felt like witnessing manga unlock its secret ultimate power by fusing art, cinema, and literature into an interactive amalgamation of Japanese creativity. I've said it before, and Persona 5 has inspired me to say it again. Video games are the entertainment industry attaining its final form. Only in a comic/anime/social simulator such as this can weebs such as myself feel so deeply involved with fictional foster senpais, ridiculous power scaling, and magical mystery tours.
I am now our time. We are all together.
You got a boyfriend?
But don't tip your fedora just yet.
Whatever.
Because unfortunately, I cannot recommend this incredible game as a way to entertain Milady.
I'm crying.
Unless Milady has 0 other plans this year. After the 15-hour intro, Persona repeats that narrative formula 6 more times, meaning you follow a strict routine through peaks and valleys in gameplay and plot. The peaks being the story arcs of new party members and their designated villains, the valleys being the in-game days between those story arcs in which you gradually pass time by getting a job, watching DVDs, taking strange drugs from a child grooming doctor, checking the fridge, playing darts with a cat, and chilling in a hot tub 5 feet apart because you're not gay.
I feel as though I could melt.
Don't get me wrong, that stuff's amazingly fun for my boyfriend, who gushes about the way these activities not only flesh out his favorite friends,
I love you too.
but reward him with a wide variety of skills that flesh out his favorite mechanics.
Oh, hell yeah.
The combat and Pokemon, I mean personas. The problem I had enjoying the weeks of downtime is it takes literal weeks of downtime. It's not unusual for my boyfriend to get sucked into a game for weeks, but there's a big difference between watching him hogtie grandma to the train tracks and watching him read a group text for 5 minutes. Seriously, 20% of this game is loading screens that take Joker to a new location just to read a text message before getting loaded to another new location just to read another text message. And for the most part, it's baloney we already know on, so how come every time we open the phone it feels like this? All Joker wants to do is go home, finish his crossword puzzle, and study for the big test, but hold up a minute, he's getting a call from the cougar he was just hanging out with 1 second ago. Okay, home sweet, hold up a minute. He's got to reply what he thinks about what a bunch of teenagers think about the conversation they had earlier about what they think this game is about. Again, it's Death Note with extra steps, Ryuji, and we use sexy Pokemon to do it.
Wow.
Oh, look at their lion thongs. Speaking of sexy Pokemon, let's discuss the most innovative, genre-revitalizing aspect of Persona. Whoa! What the f***? The Personas. More specifically, the turn-based rock, paper, leather flogger combat my boyfriend loves to practice really hard by himself in the dark till 4 a.m.
Shelby just gave me the twirl around with a finger. When you get a finger twirl around, you know what that means. That means it's time to wake up. We're playing more Persona 5. That's what that means. That means, woo, get up. We're playing more Persona 5. Is that what that means? Like it's a whirlwind of fun?
Dungeon crawling through the mind palace of a bad guy is when all the effort he spent bonding with underage cartoons and training Beak Yoshis finally paid off in an audio-visual experience so remarkably repetitive that I knew I shouldn't have reviewed Persona 5! And these palaces always appear right at the climax of each bad guy's plot, which basically comes to a full stop for anywhere between our whole afternoon and another all-nighter while my boyfriend battles a few variations of enemies by casting a few variations of cutscenes they're weak to. But you know who's really weak to those cool moves, Joker? Me! On the bright side, Persona did introduce my ears to a fantastic soundtrack. If you're planning on sharing this never-ending story with a loved one in your life, the most important question you should ask is,
You like jazz?
in conclusion, you're trying to get through this game. Think again, you're still in the tutorial. There's 20 hours to go until game will stop treating you like a baby. And when you think that you have got it, learned it all, Big Titty Girl comes calling your name. Seems like we just texted about this, but okay, she's got some things to over-explain. Mechanics keep on coming. Laundry, more responsible than in real life. You could get curry. You thought coffee was the last surprise. Clean your room, play batting cage, buy some juice, cause it's only there on Sunday. Don't say no to taking drugs from your doctor. She's sexy, it's getting weird. Mechanics keep on coming. Study, more responsible than in real life. You watching movies. You thought crosswords were the last surprise. Playing this game instead of living your actual life. Please help me. I see that cat's butthole when I close my eyes. Woo, okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video and follow us on all the socials. Now please stick around for this word from our sponsor. Skillshare is an online learning community for creatives where millions come together to take the next step in their creative journey. Since we're all working from home, you gotta make sure your home office feels nice and cozy so you can be productive. That's why I love Interior Design Basics, Simple Steps to Your Perfect Space taught by Lauren Cox. The great thing about Skillshare is that you can take classes that fit your schedule, and there are so many to choose from with real projects and support from fellow creatives. Skillshare is also much more affordable than going to in-person classes. An annual subscription is less than $10 a month. The first 1,000 people to click the link in the description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium, so you can take the first step to accomplishing your goals and exploring your creativity. Skillshare has classes in just about everything from photography and design to entrepreneurship and marketing. So take the next step and click that link in the description for your free trial. Thanks, Skillshare.
For real? For real? For real? For real? For real? It's for real. For real? For reals? For real? For real? For real? For real? For real? For real? For real this time. For real? For real? For real? For real? For real? For real? For real?